Hey guys, it's TheAndySan here, welcoming you to my newest video series. This video series is going to be called N-FAQs, which is short for Navy FAQs. To kick things off, I'd like to go over what goes on at a DEP meeting. Now, what does DEP stand for? DEP stands for Delayed Entry Program. You're put on the program as soon as you are sworn in as a member of the United States Navy. And as far as the length that you are on the DEP program, as with all things Navy related, I like to remember it by the acronym ESID, which stands for Every Situation is Different. I know some guys who are in the program for like 6 to 8 months. There's even one guy who's in for like 9 days, only attended one DEP meeting, and wham bam, he's off to boot camp. There's even one guy who's in it for about a year. But as far as I go, I'm only on the DEP program for 3 months. So I'll be shipped off to boot camp at the end of June. Now, as far as what you're doing while you're in DEP, first off, you have to check in with your recruiting petty officer at least once a week. For me, I have to check in with my recruiting petty officer every Monday and basically just tell him that I didn't get into trouble, I didn't have to talk to the police, I'm not expecting a kid, I didn't use drugs, you know. Just basic stuff like that. If any of that stuff does happen to you, be sure to tell your recruiting petty officer so you don't get in trouble. In some cases, I do know a buddy of mine who apparently was expecting a kid, although that turned out to be false later on, and so he was off the DEP program for a while. But when he found out that she wasn't pregnant and was just lying to him, he got back on, and he's right now in boot camp. Be sure to tell your recruiting petty officers everything. Now, as far as the DEP meetings go, you're required to attend one meeting per month, every month that you're in the DEP program. The scheduling could be different in your neck of the woods. As far as I go, I'm required to attend my mandatory DEP meeting every second Wednesday of every month. Once again, it could be different in your neck of the woods. That's just how things go over here. Before you actually go to the DEP meeting, you are required to wear a certain outfit, I guess you could say. And as soon as you put on the DEP program, you should be given a DEP booklet which goes over Navy rules and regulations and things you should memorize. They should also give you a t-shirt, but I do realize that some offices might not have the t-shirts. In fact, I had to get my t-shirt from a neighboring office when I went to go visit the chief. They had just one shirt left, and it's an XL, which I guess according to the Navy means extra long, because I have a ton of XL shirts and they're not nearly this long, but I digress. While you're in the DEP program, you're supposed to wear their white Property of the United States Navy shirts, which look like this. See, it says Property of the United States Navy, the number. Then off in the corner here, then off on the left-hand corner, you'll see this little tag that says Authentic DEP Issue, Property of Navy. So this shirt is issued to people who are in the DEP program, obviously, and should be worn to every DEP meeting. And if you're not wearing that shirt, you will definitely hear from your recruiting petty officer. They will not be pleased. And as far as like pants and shoes and stuff, since you'll be working out, I definitely recommend sweatpants as opposed to shorts, because a lot of times you'll be doing like push-ups and sit-ups and stuff, and most of the time you'll probably be on like concrete or something like that, not exactly a sanitary floor, so I'd recommend wearing sweatpants as opposed to shorts so you don't get yourself all dirty. And as far as shoes go, any kind of athletic shoe, like running shoes, tennis shoes, basketball shoes, just whatever, you know, anything that's athletic. But before the workout and all that, you actually go over some Navy terms. For my first DEP meeting, my chief went over the difference between distress and eustress, and we also learned things like parade rest, standing at attention, getting into formation, things like that. Another incredibly important thing that you have to learn while you're in DEP, otherwise it'll be hammered into you when you're in boot camp, is the Sailor's Creed and the 11 General Orders. And I'd like to read to you the Sailor's Creed, followed by the 11 General Orders. I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and all who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. And here are the 11 General Orders, starting from number 1. To take charge of this post and all government properties in view, To walk my post in a military manner, keeping always on the alert and observing everything that takes place within sight or hearing. To report all violations of orders I am instructed to enforce. To report all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. To quit my post only when properly relieved. To receive, obey, and pass on to the sentry who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer, command duty officer, officer of the deck, and officers and petty officers of the watch only. To talk to no one except in the line of duty. To give the alarm in case of fire or disorder. To call the officer of the deck in any case not covered by instructions. To salute all officers in all colors and standards not cased. To be especially watchful at night and during the time for challenging. To challenge all persons on or near my post and to allow no one to pass without proper authority. My petty officers recommend that I take these in the bathroom to memorize, read them when I wake up, read them when I go to sleep. Try to memorize them as best you can before you go to boot camp, so that way things will be a lot easier on you. After they get done with a little the talking portion of the DEP meeting, it's on to the exercise. And the exercises could vary depending on your petty officers and what mood they're in and stuff like that. Like I said, every situation is different. But as for what goes on at my DEP meetings, I mostly do like push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, running, things like that. And the amount varies, depending on the weather, depending on how our petty officers feel that we're doing. If we got some people who are lagging behind, then we'll probably be working out more. So that's basically what goes on at a DEP meeting. This is TheAndySan, signing off for now. Hoping you guys enjoyed the first installment of N-FAQs, and I definitely look forward to doing some more. So, as always, we'll see you next time. Bye.